some Stephen Jones audio. It just something jumped out to me that made me think, oh, maybe that's what. Oh, okay. Segment's also brought to you by the Frankels. If you've been injured in a car, truck wreck, call the Frankels first, 214 or 817-333-3333. There's never an out-of-pocket cost. They only get paid when you win. Frankel, the go-to car and truck wreck attorneys in Dallas. Yeah, he was on with Adam Shine on Mad Dog Radio, and on the Eagles game here, cut number 1, he was asked about, is this added extra motivation? You're going to play the Eagles. That's their, they're all celebrating here, winning the Super Bowl. What do you say? Is that extra motivation? Here we go.
It certainly motivates our organization, I know, from the players to the coaches. They were so fired up about it this morning. Everybody in the organization is looking forward to that. Certainly a disappointing year for us last year compared to the championship year the Eagles have. As you said, it's a huge, huge rivalry. No love lost, but a lot of respect and for what they've accomplished there. But hopefully both teams will be healthy going into that game and should be interesting.
Hopefully both teams will be healthy going into that game. I thought, why would you say that? Isn't that random? Overshown and Diggs aren't going to be healthy.
Sure.
We're not hoping they're going to be ready for week 1. What other players or player is maybe coming back from an injury that, could be impacted week 1? That Stephen might be hoping is healthy by then.
I think
Dakota Rain Prescott.
No, I think
ding.
I think so. I think he's talking more about training camp. That you never know what's going to happen in a training camp.
Never know what can happen. All right.
Like you lose Sam Williams.
Yeah, Sam Williams is covering a punt, and next thing you know, or say, for example, Tyler Booker is like one-on-one rep, and then all of a sudden.
Oh, don't.
I'm not. I mean.
Well, Tyron Smith. He got hurt 2 years ago.
Though.
You got any extra wood over there?
I
Pause.
I got you covered.
But
pull them pants down.
But what?
Dump that.
But I just, to me, I think he's talking more that he does not know what's going to happen,
Okay, which is a good thought, Brian.
Yeah.
But then
I think he knows what guys. I think he knows what guys he's not going to have.
Right. Yeah, I think, okay, all right. And you think he knows for sure he's going to have Dak. And I think so. That's one possibility. I think Dak, and I trust your gut, Brian, but Vegas has installed the Cowboys at 7.5. How could that possibly make sense?
I think they're looking at the new coach. I think they're not really committed to seeing that. They don't know really the scheme. They don't know really what the running game is going to look like.
There's so many questions.
Yeah.
Is the offensive line going to end up being good? We're hoping. We're projecting that it might be.
I think they're looking at the schedule and they're saying
it is a tougher schedule.
That, we're going to go through it at 340. We're going to do our annual win-lose thing that we do.
Love that.
Oh, good.
And
second time today. This is a party, dude. This is the best day ever.
And so, to me, I kind of look at it as a way that Vegas is probably saying there's more questions about the Cowboys right now that we don't have answers for.
I mean, we just got George Pickens. I'd say that's pretty good. Last year it was 10.5.
No, I asked
and it was a rookie left tackle
earlier.
with no experience.
I asked you guys this question after the Pickens trade, and I felt like I got good, honest answers from you guys. I was like, how many more wins is Pickens worth? And I kind of got the 1.5.
Yeah.
I didn't get a 3 or 4 or anything like that. Before the Pickens trade, you probably thought they were a 6-win team anyway.
The reason I brought up Pickens, though, is the over-under last year is 10.5. Looking at that group compared to this group.
Well, Dak got hurt.
And now he's healthy,
they're also
right?
3 straight 12. But here's the – okay, so I'm not fully buying eating the cheese here with this, but could it be they are accounting for Dak to miss time? Now at this age that he's at, the history
just
in general.
It's not necessarily to start the season, but they're factoring in there's a likelihood that Dak could miss 4 to 6 games, or maybe
that would be wise. That would be wise. Vegas also gets access to information that, Chief, I think very, very few people do in this equation, and that's why these numbers are always so interesting.
And I think the other thing, too, about this year is now going into it, the type of impact that Saquon Barkley has on the Eagles, and what type of impact Jaden Daniels has on the Commanders.
Tough division.
So the division factor of this, where you're talking about MVP caliber dudes sitting right there square in your face. Now, what they're clearly not anticipating is Saquon Barkley maybe not being the freshest version of himself after what was a heavy load he had to carry last year.
Yeah.
And then, he was super healthy last year. And that's not something that maybe they're expecting in terms of him getting banged up, but that's absolutely on the table.
Look how Golden State completely fell apart when Curry went out.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the thing that, I think if you want to say that, I don't think it's Dak about the early season. Maybe they're saying that Dak is going to now miss games. I think that is legitimate.
Yeah.
I think that part of it, if you would say, well, they're going to play 3 games with Joe Milton, and they're probably going to lose all 3 of those games.
And I think that's fair. I mean, like, we did go back and look, okay, the years after Dak's been hurt, he's stayed healthy for that next follow-up season, but he's also now north of 30.
Yep.
And in that ankle, and you've talked about it a lot, Dawson, like the recovery, maybe that does lead to other extremity injuries in the lower legs, like with the hammy. I don't know. I mean, I'm not a doctor when it comes to that, but I do think it would be fair to factor in there's a likelihood Dak could miss a couple games.
And could they also know this avulsion fracture will further take away athleticism, and we don't know how good of a quarterback he's going to be on the other side?
Yes.
I think,
especially because he wasn't playing well when he got hurt last year.
He was not.
Wasn't like he was
good.
dominating and then, oh, crap, he got banged up. Him and CD weren't even on the same page.
Yeah.
Okay, and then also consider the fact, I know you guys do that BetMGM show or BetQL. It's a betting show on the weekends.
BetMGM,
Yeah. Okay.
yep.
Bet Nation, a.k.a. the 4-hour fumble.
So you guys are very familiar with the concept that while these numbers are accurate, sometimes they're like taxing the public for betting so hard one way or the other. And with the Cowboys, the over is going to get hammered. So they're setting this thing at 7.5, knowing Cowboys fans are going to look at this like it's a prime ribs plate, and they're going to devour that, and they're going to hammer that. And at the end of the season, if the Cowboys are over 7.5, they're going to pay the most money they've ever paid out on an over-under to Cowboys fans that believed. So they're not dorking around here, right? They know that under 7 is very realistic. They're actually planning on probably reaping quite a reward off this.
It might be actually under 7 with a healthy team. The schedule's
brutal, and it could be that Shoddy's not a good coach. We don't know about that. I mean, it wasn't an inspiring head coaching hire. He certainly made us all, me, feel better about it with how he's kind of handled the media and the players all like it. But then again, that wasn't ever the question. I mean, even when I went on that rant, it wasn't like, Shoddy's a great dude. We know that. We loved sitting and talking football with him when we got to have him at training camp. That's never an issue, his ability to talk with people and how he is with people. But can he coach on Sundays?
Yeah, I think that's fair. I guess I would assume some baseline level of competency if I'm setting lines. But you're absolutely right that is in the probabilities that this blows up in his face so bad. You never know how a guy's going to react into that level of pressure. We also got an update to the all-in topic, which is pretty offensive. I think he's getting aligned with Dad on this. He said, I don't buy into all that. Name one person that isn't all in. I'd hate the fans to hear their owners say that people aren't all in. When you're competing in the NFL, it's kind of a joke. Every year we line up, we're moving our chips in. So Steve has created this reality where salary cap management is nothing. Everybody is equal all in. I think he is up against it so bad because of the way that the Eagles are managing the cap. There's no other way for him to spin it.
I would not disagree with you there.
It's an annoying question. Stop asking me about it, please. Yes, we're all in. As much all in as we're going to be. They do have a lot of dead money. They do have a lot of big contracts. To me, I think all in means to hell with the future. We're going to sign deals now, and if they blow up our cap in the future, that's fine. But we cannot have a hole in our roster. And until you have that mindset, then you're not really all in.
Yeah, you nailed it. With they're as all in as they're going to be.
Yeah.
Like the Pickens move to them was like, hey, it works in the parameters of what we want to do. It's not crazy. We're not giving up a 1 or a 2. Maybe we can even recoup this third back a year from now if he goes off and signs somewhere else. But it fits into, okay, we're willing to do this. And it's not financially going to kill us because he's still on his rookie contract. And maybe they probably don't have any chance of really signing him long term. Maybe their vision is like, yeah, we're not even going to do that. We're not going to pay him $25 to $30 million a year, which is what he's going to want.
I did see a story that they have like $30 million in cap space right now. I guess that's eaten away a little bit as this draft class is signing, but not a lot.
Earmarked.
It's
earmarked.
probably Mike and money.
They're pointing to Mike on that one, and then they're going to be like also Tyler Smith, and also maybe Ferguson, maybe Bland.
Yeah,
we got to keep this mediocre team together forever, guys.
You're right, dude. I keep forgetting about that. Whenever I see the Cowboys have cap space, that they're probably already thinking it's spent.